Well, good day. For me right now, it's good morning. I have not had my coffee. So, it sounds like I'm being funny, but man, I need coffee to wake my brain up. So forgive me if I fumble during this video. So I was just using this tool and it made me realize, I really need to do a video. And when I do a review, first of all, I am not getting money from anybody. I'm not tied to any of these companies, but it's either that I was looking for reviews on something before I bought it and I didn't find any, so I made my own review, or I got something that I love so much, I'm like, I really need to share this. And that's what this is. I love this so much, I wanted to share with people because this is a very expensive tool. I think with shipping, I paid like $180 for this thing. And, look it up because that may not be the accurate price. But it's not cheap, all right? But it's a 96-inch, 8-foot ruler with metric. And in our shop, we use both because we like metric. And I would like to just kind of debunk something real quick about Americans and metric. And I wish that America would come around more on the metric. Actually, I'm an old dude and I learned metric in elementary school and we use metric. But the problem is when you're in the States, it's none of the corporations use metric. So when you go to buy a tool, it's not metric. And what I mean is, for example, if I'm making this key molding or this Greek key, right? And I wanted to use a router bit. Well, you can order metric router bits, but really almost all the router bits you find off the shelf are going to be standard units when you're in the States. So it kind of makes it hard to do metric completely in your shop because so many things are not metric. But I just want to say, we are taught metric and I love metrics and I like a ruler with both. My problem is designers give me things to build and they use standard units. So I have to use both. This has both and it's very easy to use them both because they give you markers that go on both sides. You get 3 different markers. One is the one I use most because I mostly lay this flat on something and I mark flat. But also you get a top marker so that if you want to put it on the edge of something and then measure, you can do it with that. And you get these, which I almost never use. And I believe they said these are for inside edges. I just use these to measure inside. Works just as good to me. I do like that this has a little pointer that lines up with the line. And I like that these line up on either side, all right, even though they're offset. So that does allow you to transfer an inside line from this side to that side. And it does come with an Allen wrench, and it does come apart into 3 pieces with very simple 4 Allen screws on each joint. Oh, I just dropped the thing off. And what I want to show you, so my concern when I bought this, I'm like, I don't have much confidence in a measuring tool that comes apart because there's an opportunity for slop here in the gap. But they've done an amazing job, and I'm going to try to zoom in. This is a new phone, and I've already found that it doesn't like to focus. But your joint goes right on the mark, and it is so tight that there is no variance. It's accurate, even with 2 joints putting it together. So I can take it apart and fit it in one of these drawers. I like to keep it together and just prop it up against the wall But what I like about this is not only can I use it just to measure and lay out and make a story stick, because when I'm putting a door together, I want to be able to mark my stiles and say, okay, that rail needs to end here, that rail needs to end here, that rail needs to end here. And I can set this for those dimensions and then mark all my stiles, because I'm building 8 of this particular door. We just finished building, God, I don't remember, 15 or 20 of another type of door. And we've got this door and side lights to make. So I can take the measurements. This is, and I just not on here, but this is 10 inches. These are 8 inches. This is 7 inches. And then figure out my panel spacing. And then I can transfer these measurements and mark them here, take it over to my stile, lay it down, and mark those measurements. And I believe I mentioned already, it's got a T, well, I say it's a T-square. It's not, it's more of a stop, all right? And so if you want to use it that way with a stop, you can. If you don't want the stop, you just take it off. And I don't use the stop as much because I like to just lay it on something. And when I'm making doors, you see how we leave the horns on the doors? And that's so they don't get damaged when we're moving them around the shop. We cut the horns off just before we deliver them. And so what I do is I'll make a mark at the base and then I'll measure up. So I like to lay it flat. And the one thing I would like to ask woodpeckers to do, it would be great if you would make a T-square that mounts on this so I can have a giant 96-inch long T-square. That would be awesome. And I love this tool. It is wonderful. It is well worth the money. It's a lot of money, but I would buy it again. In fact, I would like to have 2 of these when I get a little extra money, because we use it so much that I could have one on either side of the shop. But that's a really cool tool. The reason for this review is simply I thought it was cool. I really liked it. It was a lot of money, and I figured there might be people saying, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. And my recommendation is on this one, it is well worth it. Thank you for viewing the video. Cheers.